All right, everybody. There's going to be a lot more join, I'm sure. But thanks for coming to the Wisdom Soup. Anne won't be hosting today because she is she's on her way back from doing her golden circle, or I think it's really the exhausted circle, because I've met a few of them and they've really been working hard. Of course, she's not going to know I said that until she looks at this afterwards. Bruce, I saw you wrestling with technology there, going in and out of the waiting room 500 times.
Yeah, third time's a charm. So thank you.
So I don't know. I know she normally talks a little bit to allow people to join. So we can wait a second. So everybody here, hi Radha. Everybody knows the history of Wisdom Soup. Hey Randy. It's an amazing thing that Anne put together, really. She used to do it in a live stage in Bellevue, downtown Bellevue, and she's paid a lot each month to host it on a full stage show. Then moved it for a while. Then we got COVID, and she went to Zoom, and it's just kept growing, which is great. A lot of people show up all the time for all the different things, myself included. So who we have today is Michelle Johnson, and she does all sorts of energy work and pendulum dowsing as well. Would you classify pendulum dowsing in with energy work, Michelle?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I'm the conduit.
I'm going to let Michelle explain what she does herself. She has PowerPoints with all that stuff on it, and she's going to get you working in this show. So isn't that true?
Thank you, Michael. Appreciate that.
So I'm going to spotlight you. There you go.
Thank you. Okay, as you said, I'm Michelle Johnson. I'm an energy worker. My different modalities. I do the Donna Eden energy medicine. I'm a Reiki master. Along with that, I'm a pendulum dowsing, and I do a lot of work with numerology. And I saw Radha there. I've met her a few times. So we're going to talk about energy. I need to go backwards a little bit here. Hold on. So my class that I teach is called Awakening the Hero Within. Energy is all there is. And we talk about that. But I want to talk about how our body has the ability to help maintain health, homeostasis. We didn't have big pharma back in the ancient times. We just had ancient medicine, and we still use ancient medicine in our energy modalities, such as working with the shaman and using the Chinese meridians or the energy lines. And we, as I said before, we are the conduit for the energy moving. All I'm doing is holding the pendulum, and the pendulum is doing the work. What's coming through me. And we have this innate behavior already to work with energy within ourselves. Let's say we hit our head or our funny bone or something, we automatically go to rub it. Well, when you're rubbing that, you're moving energy. You're moving that shock of the hit, and you're moving that energy around. So we already do it, right? We already do it with our children, with our babies, right? We're hitting the back, trying to get them to burp. When they have an owie, we go and that's the magic kiss right there. And all we're doing is with this energy movement is removing the stagnant energy, because where your attention goes, the energy flows. So you put it on your eyes, that's where that energy is going to go. Any other body part as well. I'm going to show you how to do that. So we'll work at the subtle energies that may help reduce pain, but it'll definitely move energy. So first of all, please follow your medical professional's instructions. And the thing about what I'm doing today, it's a combination of qigong, tapping, and Donna Eden medicine. And it's free energy, right? It's coming out of our hands and our fingers. And if we can't do it through our hands and fingers, we can visualize it to the spot that we need to bring that energy movement to. And when this all happens and it's beautiful, you're in the flow. This is what it means to be in the flow. This is where your energy is moving through all your meridians, nice and smoothly and clear. And the first thing I want to talk about are eye exercises. I think this is very important as we age. We need to really pay attention to our eyes. We need to move those muscles, the side muscles, the muscles on top, and the muscles on the bottom. So if you're wearing glasses, I'd like you to take those off because we're going to do some movements where we're going to put hands upon our eyes, okay? So we'll do that. And what I want us to do is to rub our palms together as such. We're just going to do this for a second because I want to just activate some energy here. And then I want us to flick, because what we're doing is we have negative energy on our hands, right? So we need to, okay, let's heat it up, but let's flick it off to the side, not onto your partner, but just off into a space, a void, right? And then we're going to go ahead again and rub our palms together because we're going to activate these palm chakras. Okay, we're going to form that heat and we're forming energy while rubbing it. And what we're going to do after that is take those nice warm palms, the bottom of them, and put them over our eyes as we close our eyes. And we put the rest of our fingers on the top of our head. Now here, we're going to just relax and take 3 deep breaths through our, we're going to inhale through our nose and exhale out through the mouth. In again through our nose and out through our mouth. Just feeling that energy exchange between our palms that we've activated and our eyes. You'll feel perhaps a vibration or a pulsing energy. We're letting those, by closing our eyes too, we're letting them relax, letting those muscles relax. Our eyes are mainly open all day long and looking at phones and laptops and computers. So let's give them a rest. I call this the Eye Soother. So we've done a couple of breaths here. We can take it away and feel that wonderful energy that we've created now with our eyes. My eyes are relaxing, enjoying that energy exchange that we just did. So another thing we need to do with our eyes is we need to rotate them clockwise or to the left and then to the right, the other way. But anyway, we need to work those muscles and we need to really move our eyeballs so we can feel that pull, whichever way you want to go. Feel that pull of the muscle as you move the eye from to the left or to the right and then upwards. Now look upwards, really feel that muscle pull and then bring the eye around and pull on that. And you're going to go down, look down and pull that muscle around. So I like to do increments of 3 of these. So of 3, so 3, 6, 9, or 12. So I'm going to do 9. Just feels right. I'm really going to force the eyes to look up, to the left, to the right, down, and rotate them 9 times. And then we're going to go in the opposite direction when you finish that set. This helps strengthen the muscles of the eyes. Down, and we're going to pull them. I've been doing this. I'm doing an experiment, and I've been doing eye rotations twice a day for 12 sets each. And I have reduced the time that I wear my glasses. Now, this did take 6 months. I started mid-October, and now it's mid-May. But I really feel comfortable. I don't have to use my glasses as much. So, and also by doing this, perhaps we can stop it from getting any worse, right? And keep it where it's at, and it does little by little if you keep doing these exercises. Okay. So I wouldn't tell you if I don't do these first. And what other thing we're going to do here is moving your eyes laterally. That means just from side to side. This is a releasing trauma. It just helps. So what we do is, as we move our eye to, let's say, the right, both eyes, we think of that situation, that trauma situation, feel the feeling. And as we're doing this, we're moving our eyes to the left, to the right, to the left, to the right. And keep doing that till that feeling subsides of that triggering trauma. This is just one of the things we can do to help release trauma, childhood trauma, adulthood trauma. So we think about that trauma incident, think about the feeling, and go left. I mean, like, we really got to look to the left and look to the right. Because you're changing the intenseness of the trauma. Like my fear, it did come from so much trauma, well, probably junior high school, talking in front of a crowd, right? Why was I feeling the way I felt? I felt that nervousness, the butterflies. And now, after a while, that trigger has been reduced. Okay, that's one way to do the eyes. Another way, I'm going to go back up here to the eye rotations, is that we're going to, I'm going to stop the share, thank you, is when you get, another thing we can do is the infinity symbol, which is the number 8 on its side, is that we can do that right over our eyes. We can just hover right over our eyes and do that infinity symbol. Again, you'll feel this pulsing or vibration of that energy exchange from your fingers over your eyes. I also do increments of 3s, but I like this. I really enjoy this. It feels good to my eyes. My eyes are used to being worked on. There we go. We don't have to, but if you want to, you can. For some, I don't, but we can. Rhoda, if you'd like, to get rid of that other energy but we were just, all we did was doing the eye soother. We were rotating our eyes. Okay. Go back here to follow my PowerPoint. Okay, so what we're going to do next is, like, in the middle of the afternoon, you end up getting tired after lunch. Well, what you can do is you get what you're doing is you're pulling your chin down and your eyes down, right? You're looking down. And one way to relieve that or change that energy of being tired is to put up your chin a little bit and look up at the ceiling. I mean, really look up, right? So the eyes know and tells the brain we're not going down, right? And that wants the eyes to close when you bring that chin down. So that's why you bring the chin up and you look up. And this changes the neurotransmitters in your brain and turns them back on instead of being all sluggish. I've done this after lunch when I felt a little tired, and sure enough, I did it 3 times. That's all it took to do that, is looking up. Great rejuvenator too, for your eyes. Yeah, that feels good. I know my eyes feel all wide and open and lots of energy right around the eyes, which is great, right? Because not every, you know what I mean? Let's save the eyes. That's been my mission for the past 6-7 months. Okay. Any more questions? Doesn't matter. You can use your dominant hand, You can use your
Can you
other
read the
hand.
question out?
Oh, sorry
Michelle,
about
can
that.
you read the question for everybody? Because not everybody has the chat.
Does it matter which hand you use or do both for the infinity one? I just do one hand. I don't do both. There we go. Yes, yes, as well they should be, right? Because we've not worked these. He's saying my eye muscles are a bit sore now, or she is, Andrea. Yes, we have, yeah. It's just, you're working a new set of muscles here, right?
You just
Mine
took
are a
your
little
eyes to
too.
the gym.
Right, going to eye gym, yeah. So yeah, so this will help, right? And it helps with cataracts too, right? Let's not get them any, more, right? This will keep them at, from going forward. Yes, you just took your eyes to the gym. It's true. I know. Don't forget to drink some water, right? Because we're moving energy here, right? So you don't want it to stagnate after you've done these movements, and especially if you've never done them before. Now you're all sore, right? Let's not forget about doing that. So next one, again, we're going to do with our palm chakra. We're going to activate it. We're going to rub our palms together and kind of flick it out first, right? And before we go into a body part, and then we'll start rubbing again. Form that energy. And this time it's about the thyroid. We're going to stay kind of in this area. And with this, it's called the thyroid balancer. And what you do is you put your thumbs behind the lobes of your ears. There's little indents behind there, right? And then the rest of your hand will go across your cheeks like so. But what the point is to be pressing your thumbs into the indent behind your ear. So let's press in. I know it's going to be a little tender. Okay, we're going to hold that. It's an acupressure point. We're going to hold that for about 30 seconds. You can close your eyes. Let it do its work by stimulating that thyroid area. At 30 seconds, we're going to let up on the pressure, right? And then we're going to go back in and put pressure on it. Maybe we can get a little more pressure on it, a little deeper, right? Sit back, close your eyes, and breathe, of course. Let's let up on that pressure of the thumb. And then let's put it back on. See if we can get a little more pressure in there. We're stimulating this, right? That's why we want to go a little more pressure each time we do that. All right, let's let it off, the pressure. And just kind of close your eyes and take in that energy exchange that we just did. Feel the vibration that's happening behind your ears. Thyroid is one of the places where fear tends to live. So by helping that, by putting pressure on that area, you're helping to relieve fear. Yes, yeah. They asked if lightheadedness is good, and it is. It means that you're getting some form of energy exchange. Lightheadedness, yawning, a change in your breath, like all of a sudden you have to breathe, right? Any kind of autonomic kind of release like that tells you that there's something happening. There's an energy exchange. Yep. Okay. So now we're going to shake that energy off. We got to get that energy off of our palms, right? So we're going to rub our palms And we're going to flick them off to the side. We don't want to take it into our next movement. So what I'm going to do here is our seated cross crawl. And this is connecting both sides of our brain. We don't have to stand up. Most of these are just for sitting. The left our logical, right, our math and our speech side, and we need to connect it with our right side, which is our creative and our intuition side. So it's pretty easy. By doing this, you get better memory. You're getting better memory, and you can make better decisions, creating more joy and grounding, which we all can do a little bit of. Here's a little picture of what's going to go on. So you're going to take whatever arm, shoulder you want to start at. You're going to go to the opposite hip. So you're just going to come across your body diagonally, and then take that energy that you from the hip and flick it off. And you're going to go from the other shoulder across your body to the other hip, and then flick that energy off. Now we're doing it again, 3, 6s, 9s, and 12s. So here we go. Number 2, flicking that energy off. And pretty soon, you might in the beginning, you might find some drag coming across the body. You know, that's kind of, stagnant energy. And then as you go on, you can see where there's no drag and it becomes a smooth movement, right? I'll not teach you about drag when we're doing, as we move on. So this is connecting both sides. This is wonderful. If you want, there's a more advanced move, which I can show you quickly. It's just, not sure. Stand up for this one. Okay. So what you're doing, it's about right, is you're taking the opposite hand and putting it on the opposite knee, right? And you're just kind of slapping that. And that's another way. I do the seated because I work with seniors. So I make sure that everything I do they can do seated. But if we want to stand, we can also do this. And this helps too, because you know what you're doing? You're doing the infinity symbol in front of your torso by going from the opposite hand to the opposite knee, right? That's what you're doing. So you're actually getting a 2-for-1 on this move by standing up. That's pretty nice. So standing up or seated, it doesn't matter. It still gets the job done. But with the standing, you get the infinity symbol as well. So I like to work with releasing trauma, right? And one of the ways to do this in the simplest way, besides years of therapy, is the vagus nerve reset or stimulation. And the vagus nerve is the wandering nerve, goes to about 12 different organs. So it controls a lot in our body, okay? So we need to take care of that vagus nerve as well. And so we have this vagus nerve reset, and it's rewiring the brain for childhood trauma, any trauma, and it's called, hold on, the Stanley Rosenberg technique. And an easy way to get it is on YouTube. It's Suki Baxter. And I'll show you real quick what's going on with this. The easiest way is to rotate your neck 3 times. And when you're doing that, you're going to kind of evaluate how far your neck can rotate on each side, okay? And when you move to we're going to start on the right, and we're going to breathe in. And as we move to the left, we're going to breathe out. So we'll see how far we can move our neck. We're doing this 3 times. Okay, so we come back to the middle. I'm going to stop sharing so I can go on big screen. We're going to interlace our fingers and put them behind our head. And the reason we do this is that we want to keep our head steady because we're only going to move our eyes, okay? So here we're going to take the right, we're going to look up, we're going to look right and to the up and upwards, right? So to the right and up, keep your head straight, move your eyes only. And with this move, you will feel a change in breath when there's some kind of, you'll feel change, you either yawn, you'll have to intake your breath. When you feel that the vagus nerve on the right side has been stimulated. There we go, I just got a intake of breath. And when you feel that, you can take your eyes to the middle. And then you're going to go to the opposite way. You're going to look to the left and up until you feel that sense change in breathing sensation. And when you're done, you can look to the middle. You can take your hands down when you're done. And now we're going to check our neck rotation and see how that is improved, because that's a sign that you've stimulated the nerve. So we have two signs, the change in breath, and now we're going to check the rotation on our neck. I get more than what I started with. How does that feel? It's a little smile on my face. Yeah. That's why I try to keep in the big picture here. I know, but I'm trying to follow my PowerPoints too. So it's a thing I have to work on here. So anyway, so that's one way. Besides the looking lateral. So that's the one. Two is this one with the neck rotations, then the eyes. I'm going to show you the other one. And it's with the ear. Here it is. It's the ear reflexology, right? Because the inside of the ear, right, the external cartilage here is just a micro version of your body, right? The cord, it has your legs, your torso, your head, your arms, your shoulders, right? It has everything. You can rub your ears, the insides of your ears, and touch every part of your body, right? And it's likened to the shape of a kidney and has 10,000 nerve endings, very sensitive. And so I'm gonna do the earlobe massage here. So we're gonna start at the top of the earlobe, right? And up here is the Shen Men point on both ears. And this also is a vagus stimulation release point. So grab both of the ears on top of your cartilage up here and just put pressure on it. We're gonna put pressure on it. It may not be as stimulating, obvious with the past exercise we did with the neck rotations and then the eyes, but this helps as well. See, that was an obvious sign that we had stimulated our vagus nerve. So we're massaging this too and putting pressure on it off and on, right? And now we're just gonna massage down that outside cartilage, put a little effort into it, right? You start getting to that bottom of that earlobe, pull it away from the face. Start stimulating that ear, right? Because another thing we do is we start to lose our hearing as we age. So we need to stimulate these areas because wherever your attention goes, energy flows. That's kind of my motto here. All right, then you put your finger, start putting it inside, start stimulating things in there. You're hitting body parts, whether you know it or not, or can feel it. So when the ears are really good, they're really supple, your ear cartilage, you can start bending your ear. That's how you know. See, stress is when you have hard ear cartilage, right? It's all a little hard. But when you don't, look how supple your ear is. right? That's good. We like to see supple ears on both sides. Don't forget to do the other side. You seem to be bilateral animals. Okay, put your finger in there. Do this every day. I do this at least twice a day. You know, get some kind of routine to help move energy around, especially your eyes and your ears, and you know, anything you can do up on your face, right? And then doing your ears correlates to the mini version of your body, right? So it's called the Shen Men point up here. Earlobe massage and pulling. Ah, the Hoku point. This is the point for pain. Let's say you've got a migraine or you've got back pain or anything. You're going to take your wrist, right? You're going to look at your hand. You're going to look at the front of your hand. And it's between your thumb and your forefinger. It's this meaty part right here that we're going to press on. You may not find it right away. You may not find that tender spot, but it's there. I can send it to Michael, or I don't have anybody's. I do have yours. I remember
Yeah,
yours.
you can send it. I'll make sure Anne gets it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I just need your email or something, or send it to Anne. Okay. So what you're going to do is there is a tender point in this. It may not be this part. It may be coming closer. It may be further down. But just press in there. You'll find it. Right. And you're going to press, and like we're going to press it 3 times, right? Okay. I'll send it to her. And then 30 seconds of pressing, even if it's not tender, go ahead and press on it because you're still stimulating points. And then let up. And then we're going to press again, just a little bit harder, right? Because you're stimulating. Okay. If it moved, go ahead and find it again. And then let up and stimulate it again. It helps with any kind of pain. Plus, it just calms you down anyway, right? Takes it down a level. You'll see by the end of the class, you'll be like, oh my God, I'm just, you know, people tend to even look different, right? Because their stress is releasing from their face. So of course we got to do the other side. No, both sides. I would do both sides. Again, between the thumb and forefinger, the meaty part, it's hard to do this way. Okay, I'll just show you. Here we go. That's where it is for me, right there, right there. So I may not hurt on the other side, but it might on the other hand. So just be aware. That's why you do both sides. It's just best to do both sides. Unless you don't have a hand there. Okay, let up. And then press again. And then we'll let up again. We'll do it for a 3rd time. Okay. Everything, where there's pain, wherever it goes, this is the magic button to press on. She's asking, what does this affect? It affects migraines, back pain, menstrual pain, leg pain. It's the pain soother. It's the pain relief button, if there was one on us. Now you may have to do it a couple more times, right? Because it's got to get there and figure out what you're trying to do and where it's working, especially if this is like the first time, right? That too. She said, I thought this is for always for stimulating your digestion. That too. So we're multi, right? There's multifaceted things that happen when you press on this, right? Because I'll show you another spot just real quick for digestion. It's on the apples of your cheeks. This is the straight meridian down to your stomach. Runs right to your stomach. So you tap on the apples of your cheeks. We could just go through a whole tapping. But if butterflies in your stomach, GERD, reflux, because fear lives in the stomach as well, right? That's why you get these butterflies, right? It'll stop. It just needs to do the whole circulating thing, right? And she's asking when it stops, when does it stop hurting? When it stops hurting, then stop? Yes, I would stop. Yeah. You know, depending on how many rounds you have to do, right? Depends on how, you know, the pain is, right? How on a you know, scale, right, of 1 to 10. Like if I just had a small one, if I just had a little, you know, tension headache, it may only take 2 rounds of doing this, of 3 times, right? For it to, right? Because you're holding tension, it's releasing tension, it's releasing hormones, right? Pain relieving hormones. That's what you're doing. You're stimulating hormones to be released. And just like with this one, with your thyroid balancer, all right? You're bringing those hormones into balance. So, yeah. Well, you know what? While we're here, I'm going to show you some other stuff about tapping, okay? So when there's EFT, emotional freedom technique, we have a little bit of time to go through it. So there's certain areas that you tap, and I like to do this on a daily basis. And the regimen starts with tapping the karate chop, which is the meaty part of your hand. You can pick either hand, because the other one, you're going to tap it with your fingers, right? This is the start of the kind of round robin of tapping. This is the first one we do. It's very de-stressing. I wish I could take a picture of my face when I start, and then when I finish, you'll just see a big difference in the stress. You know, the jaw's not tight, you know, everything is relaxed, breathing is relaxed. And then from here, we're going to go to our third eye, where our pineal gland is. And that's what we're actually stimulating here. We're stimulating also the forebrain, right? And this is where we make good decisions. This is where discretion is. So it's always good to tap on here. And the next one is on our temples on both sides. Again, this is for our eyes. Anything around our eyes, the temples, the eyebrows, underneath your eye, it's all stimulating your eyes. The next one is the apple of your cheeks. That's the one we were doing. Do it till it feels good. You can do, you know, 3 or 4 rounds of this. I would do 3, start with 3, but we're just going to do 1. The next one is an upper lip right here. This is helpful for relieving sinus congestion. And if you really had bad sinus congestion, you would press on it, right? And so that would help release your sinuses here and up here. And you would do the 3 times pressing on it, and each time you go a little bit harder, right? Put a little more pressure on there. So that's a good point for that. So I'll just finish that off. There we go. And the next one is below your lip. It's above the crease of your chin, right here. This is a good one for stimulating your lower gums. And this one is for your upper gums too. So one tapping in one place, you know, has the ability to go to 5, 6, 10 places, all right? Stimulate all these other ones, okay? Now we're gonna go down here, We're going to go under our collarbone to about here, and then maybe out about a ½ inch or an inch. And they're called, quote unquote, the tender spots. No, I don't say anything. I'm just kind of showing you where the points are. There are things you can say. Okay, so you're going to find your tender points. Mine are right about here. I'm just showing you in case, you know, you're in a situation that you want to calm down quickly. This is your karate chop point. Okay. And a point that I throw in just because we're in the area is our Thymus Stimulator, which is below, it's on the lower sternum here. It's right about here between the breast line. And what this, and you kind of like do Tarzan move. And it's stimulating your thymus, because as you age, your thymus shrinks, right? So we don't want it to get any smaller. And this helps with immunity as well. Okay. And the next move is kind of a weird little move, but I'll show you. So I'm going to show you on the left side. So you can take your hands and you're going to put them against about 3 inches down from your armpit on both sides. You're going to do both sides, right? Because this is your spleen on your left and your liver on the right, and that's what we're stimulating. So you're just going to tap on it. You're going to stimulate those 2 points. On the spleen side, you want to keep that open. See, these are partners in crime, the liver and the spleen. The spleen is where the chi comes into your body, comes in through here, your spleen. It goes across, and it goes to your liver, and that liver filters that wonderful, beautiful chi all through your body. But the problem is we need to be open. We need to have these meridians open. Okay, our last spot is on top of our head. This is stimulating our crown chakra, our brain, bringing blood there. See, wherever you tap, you're bringing blood, bringing nutrients, you're bringing energy to that spot. Wherever your attention goes, the energy will flow. You know, people sometimes grab the back of their head when they have a headache, right? And that's great because they're putting energy there. So that's the end of that tapping routine with that. I'm just gonna look at the chat here for a second. Yeah. Yes, as well, you should feel tingly because you've moved energy, right? That's energy. That's that tingling, pulsing vibration. Yeah, right? You'll probably sleep a little better tonight by doing all this. I do a lot of this before I go to bed. I want to release all that stress and have my energy run up and down like it's supposed to, not all, you know, curvy and with jaggedy points. I want it to all run up and down. Yes, Maggie. She says she can't stop yawning. That's how you know. That's how yawning is what you want to see when you're doing these energy movements, right? A change in breath, a yawn, things like that. Anything that has to do with your breath or your diaphragm, right? Because that's your vagus nerve being stimulated, right? Let's see what else I have here. All right, we did our Hoku point. So, you know, pressing on this spot and go slow in your breathing, it's calming, it's refreshing, it's let it go energy. We can't be like this. We can't be all up in arms, right? So I talked about our sinuses, so putting our finger there on the upper lip. Another thing I want to show you, I have so much here, is grounding, another grounding exercise, and this helps to help move your lymph fluid and new cell growth and activating chi and grounding. What you stand up. Let me kind of show you my feet here. Is I'm going to do light bouncing, and I light bounce on my toes. Now you might need a chair to hold on to or a side of a table, and you can do this sitting down too. You can just move your toes, but you're just bouncing lightly on your toes. I do about 50 of these. It's really great for moving that lymph fluid. along. And tapping on our face too helps doing that.
Michelle, can you make the screen what you're doing big?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, sorry.
Sorry.
Thank
It's
you. Thank you
hard
for
to
saying
see.
something.
Thanks.
No, it's good. Okay, there we go. Well, this is what I'm doing is I'm just on my toes. I'm just lightly bouncing. You can do it a couple times a day, right? Because if we sit a lot, why not? If you're going to stand up, let's do some bounce and get that blood flow too down to your feet and up, so that we can have that nice blood flow. Yes, please say something because I think I'm in the big screen all the time. I think I have yours, Rhoda. Okay.
So Michelle, do you want to take some questions?
Yeah, I'll take some questions.
I'm assuming people have questions. I know I do, but I'll let others go first. I'll switch it to gallery view for a second. Anybody got questions? I'm going to switch it back. All right. So here's my question. You said it like what you're teaching is a life practice, right? It's not like, hey, you do this and then you're fine. And when you get the pain, do it again. It's something you should be doing all the time. And you said it took 6 months to reduce the time you need to wear your glasses. Can you explain why it takes this time for this result? And then related to this, the fact that it takes time highlights an issue with Western culture. We prefer instant gratification. We want enlightenment now. None of this going to the mountaintop for 40 years to meditate. Do you find it difficult to persuade people to substitute like having a drink in the pub, one of their drinks, for doing an exercise like this? I'm thinking of an Irish audience, of course.
Right. It's just, I wanted it, right? I wanted to change because I didn't want to end up losing more eyesight, right? So it was how to get them to do it. And the key and the consistency is the key to all of this. And I was kind of doing an experiment just to see if what they said was true, because I knew it was true. But I just wanted to work on a certain body part. And so that's what I did. How to get someone to do something on a consistent basis, that's so individual, you got to want to. And plus, the thing I think that really did it for me is that I kept seeing results. I've been teaching this for about 10 years. But I'm going to tell you a little quick story. I went through an existential spiritual breakdown last year, right? Like, I'm done with all this. Nothing seems to work, right? And come to find out it was working all along. It's just that I wanted the Western medicine right now, right? And it taught me patience, that little kind of breakdown. If you want something, you have to persevere at it. How badly do you want it, right?
Well, to get people to do it regularly, it's good to have a group and say, okay, we're all going to meet. Do you have a regular class that you teach online or something like that?
I do. I teach it's a seniors website, and I'm not a senior, but I'm certainly allowed in it. It's called getsetup.io, and I teach a class every week. 1 week, it's all about chakras, and the opposite week is about this energy class. And it's under Michelle J. Oops, I'm sorry, I didn't get everybody.
You could share that. You could share that with, put it here, but you could share it with Anne, and she could put it in the recording email. That would be great.
Okay, Get Set Up IO, and I'm under there, Michelle J. And I'm teach energy class and this one and a chakra class.
All right. Well, Andrea has her hand up. So,
yes, Andrea. Yes.
We can't hear you. Yeah. Okay, good.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I didn't realize that I was, stressed and tension because I sit here pretty much on the computer working all day, and I'm always working on myself, and I thought I was doing good until I went through this and went, oh, I'm just gonna go sleep now. It's so nice. So, but you said a couple of words that caught my attention about diaphragm. So I had a surgery 6 years ago. They opened up my abdomen and had to take everything out and scrape out all the infection. I mean, there was nothing left, and then clean everything and then put it back. And that left a huge amount of adhesions. So my whole diaphragm is just adhesions onto all of my organs. Everything is adhesions. And so, like, you know, and a lot of it has to do with my liver, and I know I'm working on that, but, you know, I'll just be sitting here working and, oh my God, you know, because all of a sudden there's a muscle spasm right here in a part, and it's, you know, it's all related to the adhesions. And I'm always working on ways to try to keep the muscle spasms down, to relax my diaphragm. Valium, a small dose of Valium does the trick if I need it, but I'm really trying to not do any medicine and stuff. So do you have a trick that will calm the diaphragm, and not just the diaphragm, but, you know, those upper abdominal muscles? Because that's where obviously, you know, that's where muscle spasms are, is in the muscles. So right through there, it's like, oh boy, could I, oh, that would just be so lovely.
Yes, the easiest one to do are those infinity symbol. Let me tell you, I love to experiment with this, that it's the number 8 on its side, because it's an exchange of energy, and it's always going to come to be your highest, for your highest good. Okay, so I like experimenting with this energy stuff. Okay, so let's see if I got a leg cramp in the middle of the night. I thought, we're not doing anything. All we're going to do is visualize the infinity symbol over the cramp. And I did, and it worked. So Andrea, I wouldn't tell you something that I wouldn't do myself. Okay. And anytime I have an injury, let's say a burn, let's say I burned myself, right? Accidentally. Say I burn in my hand, right? I picked up a pan, it had a hot handle. So it's on the palm of my hand. I will do that, the infinity symbol over it. It's an exchange of energy, of your energy onto your skin, right? Or wherever you need it, wherever it goes, right? Because where you put your attention, right? Wherever that attention is, that energy is going to go. And by doing that infinity symbol, that tells your body, this is where I want that energy to go to. Okay? That's the easiest, most simplest thing that I could tell everybody, and I know and guarantee that it works. And it's
even at night,
even
I
at
can
night.
just visualize it happening, and it will almost be as good.
Right. You can do it, you know, first of all, you can start by doing it with your fingers, and then you can visualize it. You don't have to do it with your fingers, right?
Oh, do you, if you're really practiced visualizing it, does that do the same thing then as if I'm actually, you know, physically doing it?
Right, because you visualize doing it over that body part.
Okay.
Right? Yeah.
I'm taking notes, man. This is great.
Yeah. And I'm going to throw this out there too. You can do that on your pets. It doesn't hurt your pets to do that on them. Okay, and it's free. That's what I like. It's free. It's your fingers. It's your head. Sometimes before I go out in public, right, I do all infinities all over my front and back and sides of my body. Just so I'm not, you know, so I'm in good energetic, you know, I'm good. I'm not gonna, you know, get triggered, right, by these other folks around me, because that's how we are nowadays. We can't be around people.
You know what's weird is
sometimes.
My husband, shortly after we first met.
I'm sorry, Andrea, I can't hear you. And kids.
It's like your microphone's covered, Andrea.
Can you hear me now?
Hear you. Yep.
Oh, I had to silence my phone because my kids were texting. So then that silenced my, anyways. The infinity sign, that's so amazing because when my husband and I first met, he bought me an infinity ring. And I had no idea what it was. And it was like an infinity. Oh, that's so sweet. And yeah, just one of those small world. Cool.
It is. Yeah. Yeah. So these are things, of course, they don't teach you in school or doctors don't teach you, but these are great things to have in your tools, your tool bag, right? To help you out besides just drinking lemon water, I would suggest, because it alkalines your body, breathing through your nose as well. There's so many things that we can do to help ourselves. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
If anyone else has a question, put your hand up. If you don't know how to raise your hand with technology, you can just unmute yourself and speak. But Andrea covered what I wanted to ask next. It's clear that you have a lot of knowledge behind why those actions work. Like you know where the meridians are, you know lots of things. Do you share that a lot in your classes? Because I find that stuff very interesting. And then also,
yes. The one thing, there's so much to this. I wish I could teach every day. Not only with the meridians and the chakras, but your body, each organ goes through a reset every 2 hours. So I was going to kind of show you real quickly. Your heart goes through its reset between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. And one of the things that we can do to help every time, a body part goes into its reset, it goes every day, it's 24 hours. So I'm going to show you real quick for your heart meridian between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. So you got 2 hours to do this. You start from the bottom of start at your armpit and come down that kind of outside of your arm and come off of your pinky here and kind of twist it because there's energy there being stuck, and then flick it. And then you do this 9 times, right? And by the 9th time, your finger or your hand just slips off of that finger because there's no drag of that energy, because this is where that end of that heart meridian is, right? So pretty soon you're just like, whoop, there's nothing dragging. 3, 6, and 9s, got to do 3, 6, and 9s here. You do both sides, okay? 11 a.m., between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. is your heart. It's in my PowerPoint. I have the clock of all the times of which organs go at what time. The liver is between 1 a.m. and 3 a.m. So maybe that's why we're waking up. Don't know. But it's just something to think about. But anyway, I have 2 emails and I'll send it off to Anne and hopefully she'll send it off to you.
I have one last question then.
Okay.
And this is what I said Andrea kind of covered because she asked a specific question. Are your classes open to people asking specific questions, like showing up and saying, I have this problem, what's the good exercise for me? All right. Right.
So we have like the Q&A at the end, usually about 10 minutes. And let me tell you, these seniors, they asked a lot of great questions and specific questions about what they're going through. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, come join me. It's getsetup.io. You just, do an account and the classes are free. And you sign up for the class. The next one is, I'm doing my energy class on the 17th at 4:30 Pacific time, where it's at getsetup.io, getsetup.io. I put it in the chat. Just sign up for an account, and then you can find me under Michelle J.
All right. And Anne will share this with the recording. So anybody on here, you'll get that sent out to you anyway.
Okay. Good.
So that IO thing is the only place that you teach anything, your classes right now?
Well, right now, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Just saying I would take a class if you did it
Yeah, this is where they kind of, I ended up going there again when I was going through my, trying to find my life again.
Yeah.
And somebody said to me, excuse me, I was taking a spirituality class from a guy in Australia. There were other people in the class, but we were talking and he's like, you know a lot about spirituality. And I said, well, and I'm going through something right now. So I spent, I went to his class every week for like 4 or 5 weeks. And finally he said to me, Michelle, I think you have the potential to teach. And that opened up a door for me that I needed opened. And I fell in love with it. And here I am 7 months later. Yeah, trying to get a pendulum class together. I tried to do a numerology class, but it was a little too much for them. So, but yeah, I dabble a lot.
May I ask why seniors are your target audience? Just out of curiosity.
I ended up there because of it was not even a convoluted path. I actually went to a meetup, which was something here in Seattle about creativity and spirituality. And a person from there was doing a journaling class. And so she's like, hey, I teach at this Get Set Up. You may want to take a look at it. It's all different types of classes. And so that's how I found it.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it was like I was being divinely led.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, it wasn't even that convoluted either. All I had to do was look.
It doesn't have to be.
I know, but people think it needs to be, I think, to be important. Yeah.
Thanks, Annie. Were you saying, Annie, that, if you taught a non-seniors class, I'd attend that?
No. I was wondering because I have been told, somebody told me that I should work with seniors. So that's where I'm like, no, I'm like, really? So here you're the person here. You are before me. So
they accept me and they know that I'm not, retired. So
yeah, no, really. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, they accept everybody.
So Andrea has another question.
Just a recommendation. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So like if you made little YouTube videos and had a YouTube channel, I'd follow you. I would be your little every day. I would, and there's a whole bunch of people I've been discovering lately, and I watch their videos on YouTube all the time and everything. And you can get a following, you can get money, all this sort of stuff. But if you get a YouTube channel and you start doing this, because this is awesome, but then I'm gonna be like, how am I gonna remember all of this stuff? Right. And I would love to be able to just press. I guess I can actually, because this is Wisdom Soup. But yeah, if you get a YouTube channel, make sure I have your link. Okay. Yeah. In fact, the seniors are asking me to do videos and send them videos. Okay. So, I wrote it down on my list today because I had a class yesterday. So, and I'm only 51, but I will be a senior if
Well done, Andrea. We're here to push you over that cliff. Take that leap.
Yeah, and I'll keep you guys, posted if I probably will. I think that's where it's going to end up. I think. What's this if?
Because I imagine you could just focus easily on, okay, let's look at this spleen point, because I'm sure you're showing us tap here and we're like, I think I'm tapping in the right place, but you really do have to be tapping in the right place, don't you? So it's like, here's an overall, but you could really easily pick a topic and just labor on that for a while. But yeah, has anybody else got any more questions? Did everybody? Well, let me put it on gallery view. I'm going to take you off the spotlight. So I thought I did, but it's not gallery view. Did everybody enjoy that?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Everybody, I got to tell you, we should take pictures before and after, because we all looked a little more relaxed after this. We do.
Yeah. I didn't know what to expect, but I really enjoyed it. It was very good.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Bless you, everybody, for even coming. It's brave.
All right. Well, thank you, Michelle, for showing up and sharing your wisdom. It's clear you have lots of it. And make sure you get all those details out to Anne. And we'll all be YouTube followers in short order.
Thank you so much, everybody.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks for coming.